What are the dynamics involved in coming up with Tamu Street? Why that name? Why Tamu Street?
Tamu Street. Well, to be honest, Tamu Street is not. The whole goal is not just to be one place where it's like you're going to get this here.
Yeah.
Tamu Street is supposed to be typically like a street where you go left, you can eat this. You go right, you can eat this. You go left, you can eat this. So it's supposed to be different branches from Tamu Street. So currently we do Tamu Street. I have dragon wings, so you just do wings. We also have pony spice, where it's more Swahili dishes. We do cakes. It's called gateau. Gateau means cakes. We do pizzas as well. We have a pizza oven from Italy, so we do fresh pizzas as well. So it's Tamu Street. It's different small delicacies that you can have from the same place.
Now, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and Ramadan Kareem, by the way. So today I'm in Kilimani trying to look for a spot where I can order for iftar. Now, going through Instagram, I came across Tamu Street. They deliver food and fresh drinking water. I already talked to the owner, Nashir Ismail. So let's go meet him. Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Salam.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
I need to order something for iftar.
Karibu.
Shukran. So before having our main interview,
Yes.
tell me about this.
This is it's just something we just started recently. It's just over a month ago. It's called Tamu Waters. So we purify clean drinking water. We have 12 state processes, 12 state-of-the-art processes that our water goes through.
Yeah.
So we provide pure drinking water for our customers. So yeah, here's a machine. It goes through the filtration process, goes through UV, goes through what's it called, reverse osmosis process. It just to make sure we're giving the best waters to our clients. It's called Tamu Waters.
Awesome. So on top of delivering food, you also deliver fresh drinking
Yes,
water.
correct.
Mashallah. Awesome. Let's go talk about the food now.
Thank you. Let's go.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the program. My name is Abdulkarim Ikariah, and this is Show Me the Market. Now, today, I'm in Kilimani at Tamu Street. And here, I'm with Nashir Ismail. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa
Thank you so much for having us today.
Anytime.
We say Tamu Street.
Tamu Street, yes.
What is
correct.
Tamu Street?
Tamu Street is an online food delivery platform. So basically, it's like a cloud kitchen. So whether you're in the office or whether you're at home and you don't feel like cooking, you just want to make an order, we are part of the group who supply the food. So deliveries, we do all kinds of cuisines as well. We do Indian, Chinese, we do Thai, we do Swahili, there's lots of things we do at the same time.
Perfect. So when did you start this, and what was the mission at the very beginning?
I originally wanted to do business. So I had a friend who had a private chef. He'd come, he'd cook, he'd make his good money, and he'd cook like 3 times a week. And for me, that was business. So I said, let me invest out and see best way to enter the business and how to do what he was doing.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Top Chef in Westland, and that's why I got my first degree. And I ended up forgetting about the business and loving the food. So after that, I just got more eager to learn more, and I decided to go to Switzerland for further studies. So I branched out there. I was there for 2 years. Went to US for another year. Traveled a bit. Went to Italy. Went to France. Just to get some more exposure because this is so much about food. It's not just on souffle and mixing. It's more detailed. It's more about connecting with nature, connecting with ingredients and such like. But yeah, so then I came back, and of course, when you come back from there, everyone is like, it's a bit hard for us to manage you or to compensate you. So I ended up doing some consultancy work. Was able to join Zucchini. I think you know Zucchini.
Okay.
Yeah, joined Zucchini as head of food and beverage. Was there for 2 years. opened 4 restaurants, did a few things there, did just consultancy work, improving the standards, the quality, changing the menus and such like. Then I reached a point where I was like, I need to do something for myself. I need to also develop something for me. So 2 years ago, I started Tamu Street, and that's where we are right now. We've slowly grown as a company by itself, but I'd say it's the best thing I think I could have done.
What are the dynamics involved in coming up with Tamu Street? Why that name? Why Tamu Street?
Tamu Street. Well, to be honest, Tamu Street is not. The whole goal is not just to be one place where it's like you're going to get this here.
Yeah.
Tamu Street is supposed to be typically like a street. Where you go left, you can eat this, you go right, you can eat this, you go left, you can eat this. So it's supposed to be different branches from Tamu Street. So currently we do Tamu Street. I have dragon wings, so you just do wings. We also have pony spice, where it's more Swahili dishes. We do cakes, it's called gâteau. Gâteau means cakes. We do pizzas as well. We have a pizza oven from Italy, so we do fresh pizzas as well. So it's Tamu Street. It's different small delicacies that you can have from the same place.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How do you connect with your customers? Because where are we right now? This is where you cook from, right?
Yes.
So how do you connect with your customers?
That's one of the challenges we actually have, but it's also a plus side because most of our customers know us for the food. But what we now rely on is online media. WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. That's the ones we rely on actually to get our business. Engaging the customers. We have people going out on food, just making sure the business is known and marketing us to the customers.
Okay, so much of your advertising is underpinned the social media.
Yes, correct. Most of it, I'd say 90% of it is social media.
Okay,
Yes.
Awesome. The types of food that you have here, in mentioning the types of food,
yes.
you can tell us which one is the most liked,
Our best selling definitely is biryani.
Okay.
We have pilau. I have my wife Aisha. She comes from the coast, so she's specialized in all these delicacies, and she kind of brought this onto Tamu Street as well. But yeah, I'd say those are our best selling. The biryanis, our Thai cuisine, people love those. Our Chinese, we have some Korean foods as well. The chicken cashew and pad Thai, and those are really moving as well.
Oh, so we have authentic pilau in Nairobi.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You have to credit her a bit.
Mashallah. You on working hours?
It ranges, but around 10:30 we're open because you have to get up for lunch. And people who want some morning snacks, maybe at the office, maybe some mahambaris, just maybe some people on chapati to have some tea. But yeah, so we would start around 10:30. Yeah. Cater for lunch, cater for afternoon snacks, and then cater for dinner. Okay. And dinner can go on even up to maybe 10, 11 p.m.
Awesome. Yeah. So how has the Ramadan period affected the working hours?
I'd have to say this is the time where you now look at your priorities. Yeah. To be honest.
No.
Because I've had to close earlier than usual, or I open later than usual. You find that maybe I have to go for Tarawih. Starts at 8:30, so I have to close at 8. Yes. So I lose out 3 hours, but I'm looking at the reward I'm about to get for those 3 hours. It's way better than 1 or 2 orders you might get during that time. So it's a matter of balance and priorities, and it's also good because sometimes because when you have a chef who you can leave behind, maybe continue with the orders, one who's not going for the prayers or So yeah, it's been a bit challenging, especially even this last few days as well. Yeah. Where you have to wake up at night, you stay up till like 6, then you wake up again, come to work. So, but yeah, it's okay. It's manageable.
Awesome. What's the process of getting the food to your customer? So you have a rider, you have people who deliver the food for you.
Yes. So
what's the process?
So we have our own riders first of all. We have our own bikes as well, so it's easier for us and more manageable. So when you make a call, you know, in 50 minutes you're going to get your food.
Yeah.
You know, you have to. So it's a matter of balance as well. But we're also on the delivery apps. You know, Jumia, Glovo, Uber.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're on all those apps as well.
Yeah.
So they have their own riders. So we just get an order on the phone and we receive the order and we prepare. The rider comes with the food and it gets them. So there's two ways you can get it.
Yeah.
We have some customers coming to pick up the food themselves. So yeah, it just depends with the time as well.
How many employees do you have?
Currently, I have 4 employees. We have Alice who helps with cleaning. We have a rider.
Yeah.
We have a chef, and we have someone who handles kind of the marketing aspect of it.
Okay. How do you meet the expectations of a typical customer who lives in a city like Nairobi? Pretty fast city.
Yeah.
So
To be honest, first thing we always look at is time. Because we find most of our customers in the office, maybe they have like 30 minutes to eat. So they want their food in 50 minutes, such likes. Or you also find they're very picky eaters sometimes.
Yeah.
So you have to make what you're making very good, very fast. So it's a matter of balance as well, and just making sure you get the right dish as tasty as possible out of it.
yeah. You are a chef yourself, aren't you?
Yes, correct.
What's the importance of having good food? Not just cooking food that satisfy the expectation of the customer. It's nice food. You mentioned biryani.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd have to say it's more also the satisfaction of knowing someone is enjoying your food.
Yeah.
I think that's why chefs cook. You know, chefs don't cook because of the fame or the money. Some do, but for us, it's the satisfaction knowing I've cooked something nice, something presentable that the customer can enjoy. I think that's what moves us further forward because it's the same thing every day. You have to have a reason behind why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you maintain or how do you stay ahead of competition?
I have to be honest, it's a matter of pricing as well as quality as well as I don't know, so the attention to detail. So you'd find, first of all, the ingredients we use are sourced locally, and it's one thing that we highly rely on as well, because we don't use artificial products. We don't use, so we have to try to make our food as fresh as possible. We take fresh coconuts from the coast. We don't use tinned coconut. We use, such things.
Okay.
The small things matter. Something like tamarind. We soak them ourselves.
Okay.
So it's the attention to detail that I think we really work on, and it's what puts us ahead.
Okay. So talking about that, how do you compare your business with your competitors then? Do they do what you do in terms of ingredients and so forth?
To the best of my knowledge,
No.
There are some places which have really good chefs as well.
Okay.
And there's some places who the owner is a chef, and with no chef background. So I think most places where the chef is actually involved and inside and cooking, rather than I could have said I want to open Tamu Street here, another place, maybe eventually yes. But the best thing is to first focus on the quality that you're giving now.
Yeah.
Standardize everything for your team and for the new future chefs to come. So even if you want to open something else after or a different place, then you're sure the quality you're getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so at that point we take a short break, but we'll be back in just a moment to talk about the challenges that Nashir has to deal with at Tamu Street. Don't go too far. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Show Me the Market. I'm in Kilimani at Tamu Street with Nashir Ismail. Thank you so much indeed. Now, when you came back, did you do any market survey and did you notice any gap that needed to be filled?
Yes, originally when I came back, I knew I was like, I'm coming, I need to open a restaurant. I need to, open this. But coming back, I saw the need is not more of the restaurants, because there's so many restaurants around. the need was also in providing quality food direct from you to the customer. So, and so restaurants were not performing as well during that time. And then, so for me, the safest, best way to start was through this. So I could identify the market, identify what people like. Before I open a restaurant and say, I'm doing Italian cuisine, I'm doing, Chinese cuisine. For me to understand the market first. People like this kind of food. People order this more than this. So it's it's a good, safe way to now identify the market. And that's what I did. And then when COVID hit, it has kind of ramped up more of the idea of online delivery. I can order my food online. It's way easier, it's faster, the comfort of your home, comfort of your office. And also in the restaurants I went, like where I worked before, I was doing some consultancy before, you'd get customers come like, I need this in 5 minutes, I need this in 10 minutes, I have to go back. So also that conveniency of, I can just call, the order comes to me, it makes it easier for customers as well.
Okay. How important is the location when starting a business like yours?
With online delivery, it's very critical because I don't know if most people realize this, but everything works on a radius. Even on Instagram, let's say, for example, you're posting something, you promote it with a radius, The apps, Jumia, Uber, Glovo, they work on a radius. So it was vital I find a central kind of spot from here, because from here you can get Westlands, you can get Lavington, you can get Langata, you can get a bit of CBD, so you can get a mix of everything. But then it also limits your customers. Because with the apps you don't get orders, let's say, from Runda, or you don't get orders from, from Karen as well. It's a bit too far for the radius.
Okay.
So it limits a bit, and that's why I'm saying it's good to branch out. Maybe if you have one here, you have one another place.
Okay. Speaking of the radius, where most of the customers, where are they situated? Because we're in Kilimani right
Yes. So most of our customers are from Kilimani, Lavington, Gong Road area, Upper Hill, the offices around there. That's where most of them.
Okay. Do you mind hinting to us the amount of capital that you had to invest when opening this business? And even as you do that, maybe you can also tell us the equipment one needs to purchase.
For such a business. Well, as you said, the location is key. And if you're in such a location, maybe if you're renting on the space, it's first you have to look at the rent. Renting Kilimani is not, it's not a joke. It's not 12,000. It's not. So it's first of all, it's a rent. You have to secure your rent for such a while before people get to know you. Before you start getting returns. It takes a while. But I'd say first of all is the rent. Make sure you have that sorted. Then come into the equipment bit of it. First the permits you have to get. The business license, fire extinguishers. We have to have extinguishers. We have to have blanket, first aid kits. We have to have permits to produce food. It's a food substance. You need the health licenses as well. You need so there are a few licenses you need before you open. And then now, depending on the kind of food you're doing, if it's a pizza oven, you just need a pizza oven and a fridge, somewhere to store it. But you see with us, the vast kind of cuisines that we have to have more storage space. You understand? So we need a bigger freezer. We need a bigger fridge. We need more of a storage room for the ingredients, because the ingredients from different parts, of the world. And so it's one of the things that you need to look out for. The storage space, storage equipment. Fridge is expensive. You need to look at the equipment, pots, pans, knives, such like.
Okay.
But I'd say most of them, it's an investment. Which most of the things I've been using for the past 2 years are still working well. So it's an investment. Just get good quality things.
So based on your experience in cooking, and you said you have 4 employees, Do you prefer someone who is good in talent or hard work?
To be honest, it's a very tricky question because you find in Kenya, yeah, you find a good number of chefs, even executive chefs. I've worked with a lot of them. They've all started as stewards. Most of them didn't have a culinary background.
Yeah.
So they started as steward, they work hard, like really work hard. They get promoted to commis, or then they go to CDP, chef de partie, then they go to sous chef, then they go to executive chef. So it's something that's been happening in Kenya a lot. Because you find chefs who are experienced and educated on the culinary world are a bit expensive.
Yeah.
So people look at best ways to, maybe cut costs as well as support the local markets as well, if that makes sense. So, yeah, we'd find most of the chefs, I'm using the wrong words, but some of the chefs you'd find really work hard and they earn their spot in the market. But then you'd find good skilled chefs who are good in what they do, but they don't work as hard because that perception of I have the skills, I'm good at what I do, I don't need to,
So skills and hard work go hand in hand.
They do, because it's actually one of the challenges I've experienced myself. I've had, when starting up and looking at the costs, I would hire more hard work than experienced, or hard work than knowledgeable, skilled chefs. So you'd find the hard work is good, but without the background of the knowledge of the chef, it's hard for them to understand why am I doing this preparation early? Why am I doing this mise en place early? Why am I why should the food taste this way? Understand? So for someone who has a background, let's say, of making a pilau, they know I need to put the onions first, I need to put the spices, I need to, there's certain things you need to do first. But if you find someone who has just been told mix everything, they would not make it as well as, if that makes sense. Yeah. So there's some techniques and everything that you can't teach.
Okay.
You have to learn from school or from, the culinary world itself.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So how do you generate customer referrals?
Most of the referrals actually it's just through producing good food. Because you'd get a customer who would enjoy your food and they'd be like, I need to send this to my friends, or I need to show my friends this. So you'd get the next time, maybe in the group at home, they'd order, a lot of food, or they'd order dishes, they'd order drinks as well. So it's a matter of, just doing what you do best, producing good food and hoping that you get them back.
Okay. Has Islam in any way impacted your business?
I'd say definitely yes, because most of our customers look at is the food halal for them? Is it produced by in a halal environment? Is it produced using, So it has impacted the amount of customers we get. I wouldn't say negatively, because we don't get a lot of people calling asking for bacon. So most of them would call for what you do best, and they just want to make sure that it's halal for them. I'd also say it's affected us as well during this Ramadan time, because, as I said, most of our customers, I think around 50-60% are Muslims as well. So during this time, they don't order much. So we had to customize the menu a bit. We have to look at, okay, what can I do this Ramadan period? We can sell pre-made samosas, we can do bhajias, we can do, such like. So there's certain things we have to adapt to, but it works for them and it works for us. So.
Okay. So as a young entrepreneur and having offered employment to the four guys here, how does that make you feel?
I'd have to say it's for me, it's knowing that I love teaching as well, to be honest. So for me, it's knowing that I've helped someone. I know they have families as well. So You're helping someone support themselves, support their families, and also for them, they're learning and they're growing as a person. You know, the food industry is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, so there are a few things that you know they've had to adapt to. You know, like the timings. You know, it's not a typical 8 to 4. You know, sometimes the workload is a lot, and you know our work is more intensive, labor intensive. You know, potatoes and onions, and you know, so yeah, it's that's one of the things they've had to adapt to, and they're growing with it, and so far more than 2 years with them, and yeah.
Okay. What challenges have you faced and perhaps you continue to face?
Starting off, most of the challenge was, you know, getting the customers to know you, to know your brand as well. I'd say that was the beginning of it. But once they do, it was a matter of, well, before we had a rider, you know, when the customer had called and we wouldn't have a way to give them unless we call a Bolt or we call an Uber. So, you know, delivery as well. Maybe if your rider is somewhere else and you need another rider, you understand? Maybe it's 3 orders at the same time. I'd also say in sourcing for the right chefs, as I said, I used to look at hard workers and not skilled chefs. So it's finding the best balance of both sides. So yeah, sourcing for, you know, the proper team that can help you move forward. Because at the end of the day, you want to, you know, grow, and you want to develop the team into people who can sustain themselves. They can do everything themselves without you being here all the time. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Paint me a picture of a typical day at Tamu Street.
Every day is different. But I say typically when we come here, first of all, at around 10, first thing we do is do a thorough cleanup. The dishes are washed from the previous night. The whole area is scrubbed clean, and just to make sure before we start, it's the first rule of any kitchen. You have to have a clean area. Then we start making orders for things we need. This was done the previous night, but now making the calls. I need 10 kg of this, 10 kg of this. You know, getting the rider to go to those places before the lunch period. Most of the things maybe they are there from the day before, you know, such like. So it's just making sure you have enough stock to carry on for the day. Then during lunch, you know, typically that whole busy period, still preparing things that you're doing the lunch, you know, doing the marketing, receiving calls, and different things that you may do. Then after, you know, there's a small period where, you know, they may have their lunch, our employees. Then we'd start again, you know. So they carry on to the afternoon, do some snacks, at the same time still doing preparations. We'd have a team go out now to market now for, you know, different periods, before lunch, before dinner. So they'd go out, and then we have the dinner service. Then it's time to close, maybe around 10, 11. We do a thorough cleanup again before we go, and that's when we leave.
Awesome. I thank you so much indeed for creating the time off your schedule. You know, you need to go back to the kitchen.
Definitely.
Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you.
Shukran sana. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much indeed for watching Show Me the Market. I want to thank my crew, my producer Mohammed Shakombo, and the cameraman Mohammed Nasir. Thank you so much indeed. Until next time, Salam Alaikum.